Hey everybody, it's me Tim, and in today's video here I wanted to go over Cleanspark and Bitcoin. As you may know, Bitcoin over this weekend has been continuing its bullish momentum. So I'm going to go over Cleanspark, some things to look out on the chart, and also some things to look out for Bitcoin on the chart. Now if you like these short, quick videos, make sure you like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell. It tells me that you like these types of videos. And if you're interested in any stocks or cryptos, check out the links down below, and let's take a look at Cleanspark and Bitcoin. And first off, if you didn't watch my last video going over Cleanspark's recent news, I'll leave it down below for you. But I basically cover their recent Washington, Georgia expansion here, adding 50 megawatts of power by late spring. Now, first off, looking at Cleanspark, we did break our ascending channel here. And one thing that I want to note here is, at least with Bitcoin, is anytime we break a pattern, we get a lot of bullish push. You know, it seems like the sentiment is definitely shifting, and when we have a bullish break of a pattern, we get a huge move up. But when we get a bearish break of a pattern like we just saw with Cleanspark, it doesn't seem to react that negatively. We'll see if that continues, and these bullish breakouts of patterns just give an extra push, while the bearish breakouts of patterns give lesser of a push to the downside. Seems like sentiment is changing, and that's something to be aware of. Now, another thing to be aware of is, as I've said before, Cleanspark's earnings is coming out. They're expecting right around 30 million, and this is coming out here in the middle of February, just a couple weeks away. One thing you'll see is this is an improvement in revenue, potentially quarter over quarter, if they do hit their estimate. Still not a profitable quarter, big surprise, but I do expect this to be the last quarter of iffy revenue. Next one I think is going to absolutely balloon, and if we continue seeing this bullish sentiment with Bitcoin, if Bitcoin continues in the 20s, even higher, or even trades sideways from where it's at, just doesn't drop back to 15, Cleanspark's going to have a great quarter. So let me reiterate, this quarter that they're about to release based on October, November, December, I don't think will be the best quarter, but I do think their January, February, March quarter is going to come in a lot better, and that's where we see that shift and that change in direction on quarters, where we start seeing growing revenue and getting closer to a positive EPS. As we know, the last couple of quarters, we've been seeing shrinking revenue, all due to Bitcoin's price. But staying on Cleanspark's chart for just another second, I do want to see us work towards our 200 MA, and I want to see that we can maintain this 50 MA. And I do speculate that this next week could be a decent week for Cleanspark, just based on over the weekend, Bitcoin has been pushing. Let's look at the chart. And I want to quickly go back to what I mentioned about these breakouts of patterns. You get a little sideways action, a breakout, it gives a big push. Sideways action, a breakout, it gives a big push. What did we see next? We saw this broadening formation that I brought to your guys' attention. We got a big, beautiful breakout of that. And next up, we have another pattern to watch. Now, this is either going to become a wedge pattern if we push back up and find resistance here, break back down, and continue tightening up here. Otherwise, I see the potential for this pattern as well. If we push up, find resistance, and keep tightening up. You want to see this tighten and then a nice, beautiful breakout. And heck, even if we don't see a nice breakout, even if we trade sideways, even if we fall back into this pattern, it's definitely nice to see this bullish direction on Bitcoin over the last couple weeks. And just based on the cycles, I do expect to see a lot more bullish moves on Bitcoin, therefore Cleanspark as well. And one thing that we did see is we saw the 50 to 200 MA cross. And since then, Bitcoin has just been absolutely skyrocketing. I do expect this momentum to continue, although we may see a cool down period. But in general, over this year, I do expect this momentum to continue, and I do expect Cleanspark to have a pretty good 2023. I think we will get back to record-breaking quarters in terms of revenue, and Bitcoin doesn't have to be in the 50,000, the 60,000, and not even the $40,000 range for Cleanspark to be back to record-breaking, 40, 50, even $60 million in revenue. Because of how much they've expanded their exahash, expanded their mining fleet, and grown their number of Bitcoin mined per day, even a Bitcoin back in the $30,000 range will bring Cleanspark to record-breaking quarters, pulling in over 200 million annually once we get into that $30,000 range for Bitcoin. But let me know how you guys are feeling right now about Cleanspark and Bitcoin. It seems like the sentiment is quickly changing here. It definitely looks like people are getting FOMO a little bit with Bitcoin, speculating that, hey, 15,000 is the bottom, and I better buy this before it's too late. Now that, in my opinion, is not always the way to go. You definitely want to, in my eyes, buy during the fear, sell during the greed. However, you can also take the stress out of it and just dollar cost average every single week, a set amount, and just go about it that way. But let me know what your strategies are for both Bitcoin and Cleanspark. Thanks for watching, guys, and have a good day.